Mark Selby, CEO of Canada Nickel, advancing the Crawford nickel-sulphide project. We recently completed a feasibility study in just over 4 years from our 5th drill hole. It's the second largest nickel reserve in the world. It'll be the third largest nickel-sulphide operation when it's fully ramped up. And most importantly, Crawford is just the first of more than 20 properties in what we believe has the potential to be the world's largest nickel-sulphide district in and around the great mining camp of Timmins, Ontario.
The award-winning Mark Selby. How are you, sir?
I wouldn't say award-winning, nominee. Yes,
I said award. Did I say award-winning?
You did.
I did. Well,
yeah.
Oh well, maybe one day. You're up for a couple of awards over here at Mines and Money. Not quite there, but tell us what you were nominated for.
Yeah, so it's a great tribute to what we've done as a company this year. So we were nominated as Explorer of the Year alongside I think 5 other very good companies. Heliostar ended up winning the award in that category, and then I was up for CEO of the Year, along some guys named Mark Bristow and Randy Smallwood, and then as well Snowline Gold, who've done a great job with their gold deposit up in the Yukon. So did not win. Randy Smallwood did win the award, but again, it was great to be nominated, and again, good to get that kind of recognition. They've got a pretty diverse nominating review base there, so it's nice to see people paying attention.
Well, they are. I think industry definitely is paying attention to your project. So let's talk a little bit more about that, because you're obviously at the Mines and Money. First of all, let's talk about the mood of the nation, and then I want to get into it. So how were people? How was the conference? What were people talking about?
Yeah, we were over as part of an Ontario delegation. Again, great thing for us is having a mining jurisdiction that's not only supportive, but actually goes on the road and talks up what Ontario is doing. So George Peary, who's the Minister of Mines for Ontario, who's a Timmins, grew up in Timmins, had a panel, had about 5 companies there at various stages of development, and did a great job, talking up the benefits of what Ontario has to offer, and then the strengths of the the various projects and so forth. It was chaired by Harry Sanderson from Benchmark Mineral, so it was a good panel. I'm not sure where online it is, but I think if anyone wants to get a good view of what Ontario has to offer, and again the big benefits for us, would definitely see if you can track it down.
Okay, well, it's nice to see them starting to get serious, and obviously you guys have put your feasibility study out recently, so fair bit to talk about. So any kind of good questions thrown in from the audience? Yeah,
there were actually. It was there were about half a dozen good questions that came out, and again, you had with Benchmark chairing the session, a group that's that knowledgeable on it, and then Matt Fernley from Battery Metal Review, who's again, I think one of the better guys in the space in terms of really understanding the whole sort of mine to EV chain. Having guys like that on the panel, with the minister was a really, really good discussion in terms of what Ontario's done, how Ontario's different in terms of being able to be a significant player in the critical mineral space.
Right. Okay. And so, and just sticking with the feasibility, I mean, I think generally well understood, well received, but there's, I think, an expectation, from the market that you then need to do something with that. You've talked strategic partners in the past. Where are we with those sort of discussions?
So we were very happy with where the feasibility study landed. $2.5 billion NPV, 18% IRR when you include the carbon capture and storage credits, and so that's more than double where we were in terms of value with the PEA. So the market and our capital cost was well in line with what we've been signaling it was going to come in at. So analysts were all very happy, came out with good reports off the back of it. And again, more importantly, for the conversations we've been having, to have those, the project validated on that basis, is again, helps propel those discussions forward. So, as we've been saying, one of our objectives for the year is to get an offtake agreement over the line here. And so, those discussions continue to go very well. And we looks like we're trying, we will be able to get something done, by year end. So, very happy how those things are coming together.
by year end. We're in December. Okay, that's close enough for me. Congratulations. I look forward to seeing what that looks like, and more importantly, the who, because I think that'll be quite telling in terms of an endorsement from the industry. Just one. Obviously, we are due to have a little session coming up with regards to the nickel show, the battery show, about what's happening in the nickel world. We're going to do probably a double header this week, right?
Yeah, we didn't do this one, and I've got a few pokes and people wondering why we hadn't done one yet. But we'll do a double header. Again, nickel market has not disappointed. We talked about these sell-offs, and the sell-off came later in the year than we're expecting, but we are in sell-off mode, and as we expected, we're going to see a really short, steep drop into the lows that we're expecting to bottom out through the end of this year. And we dropped $1,000 in a week, and we're back up $1,000 in a week. Again, in commodity trading, when you have a 5% move in a single week, those are really kind of face ripping moves. And so, the kind of sell off is something that we were expecting. And then, I talked to the fact that the shorts are at record short volumes and value. And so the difficulty there is once that price does get to a very steep point, it makes it the shorts, if there's not much downside left, they have to start to cover. And so we saw a pretty intense short covering rally, and saw prices move back up into the 17,500 range. We'll go a lot more into detail next week on that. And there's a bunch of, there's some interesting company news. So we can talk some more about that in the big show next week.
Great. And so just for one thing, I did kind of meant to check in with you with regards to some of the other projects, because I think the interesting thing for us when we look at a project like you've got is remembering that's just one of the projects that you've got. So we're very much focused on the value of the company being judged on that one asset at the moment. What's coming down the line next year?
Well, again, I think that the value of having a feasibility study done on Crawford, really underpinning, the significant value and the scale of what we have at Crawford, just makes the other 20 properties that we've got in the district, just demonstrates the value potential that's there. So, not only, did the feasibility study help out with, discussions that we're having on Crawford, the feasibility, has helped in those discussions, with a number of other players now who can see, okay, property X is at this stage, but that's just where Crawford was, or it's even further ahead of Crawford because we've already put 5 holes or 15 holes into this property, and can, it draws that line for them to, here's what the value potential of this asset looks like. So that's the other part that's been encouraging for us is over the last 6 weeks, we've got a lot more interest in terms of what that regional exploration portfolio could look like. So, the beauty of having a portfolio of assets is it gives you a whole myriad of ways of being able to unlock value. And again, I think as we go into the new year, you're going to see some pretty interesting ways for us to unlock value from that portfolio of assets.
Okay, well, look, Mike, we'll catch up later this week on the Battery Show. I very much look forward to that. Thanks for touching in again, and I would say definitely thank you, because we tried this earlier in the week, and I think our sound technician had a brain fog, we'll call it. So I appreciate your time over the weekend. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew.